Hello, everybody. It's Gary Stuckey with Real Music. On today's episode, I've got the one and only Jim Florentine, the hilarious comedian. You might know him from Crank Yankers. He's got his own podcast. He does comedy shows everywhere, and he was on that metal show, and he's on that Rocks, along with Don Jamieson and Eddie Trunk, talking to all your favorite hard rock and heavy metal stars every week on YouTube. But here he is, funny guy, Jim Florentine.
Been watching that Rocks, really great show. Of course, it's like part two of that metal show, and I know that y'all used to have on VH1. How fun has that been? That's really taken off for y'all guys, right?
Yeah, no, we like it, man. Especially, it's easy to do because wherever location we're in, we could just do it through Zoom. So that makes it a lot easier. So, yeah, I mean, it's easy to talk about this stuff. We all know it. We all like it. We're all passionate about it. So it's not like we have to do any homework.
Right. That's right. And there's some things that were on the metal show that you don't do anymore. Is that because they won't let you, or how does that work now?
No, I just think that it would just, well, I mean, we can't have a guitar player, obviously, and, playing because that would be weird. And then there's also YouTube's really weird with music. Like you can't play any music on there.
Right.
At all. So, you got to be careful with that. And then the trivia thing with the Stump the Trunk, it's just like, it might bog down the show too much. Like we want to kind of keep it moving quick and stuff. So we just, we're not doing that. Other than that, it's pretty much the same.
Right. Yeah, no, I really enjoy it. But I know that you probably missed the live feel. I guess you had an audience and you could kind of interact and you could hear them and things like that. I know that's different for you.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, it'd be much better if it was in a studio, but technology has changed and all this stuff, and now we could just do it and everyone could just watch it on YouTube. So we don't need to wait for some network to kind of pick the show up.
Sure. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah. But I guess, how long was the gap in between that metal show and then that Rocks?
Probably 8 years.
8 years. Wow.
It was off. Yeah.
Wow. I didn't even think about, time flies, but still that's a long gap. It seems like that. Wow. Or do you ever talk to Miss Box of Junk?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Jennifer. Yeah. She's like a motivational speaker now.
That's right. I've been checking
doing
her
really
out.
well with that. Yeah.
She's
sorry. Yeah, no, she's doing great.
See, and a lot of people don't realize that about her. She's not this, ditzy blonde that, she's this real smart lady that's, doing motivational speaking, and she has her own website and she's helping people out and got a book out. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, she's doing great.
Well, now you with the guys on the show, I mean, how long have you known those guys, and how did you meet up with those guys?
I've known Don forever, and Eddie probably, maybe a couple of years before that metal show started. I mean, Eddie, because Eddie's on the radio in New York, so we used to always listen to him. He was the only one to play heavy metal on the radio. So me and Don were like, man, we like this guy. Who is he? He likes the same music as us. And then we saw him at a concert. We became friends. And that's how basically it happened.
Well, I know, like on that metal show, you always gave him a hard time. You'd say something about his mama or something like that. Do y'all pick on each other like that?
Yeah, we did all bus balls. Yeah, absolutely. Like I'll mispronounce a word and they'll make fun of that or whatever. And Don will do something and Eddie will do something. Yeah, so we all do that.
And it's funny to me. I mean, because you're watching you guys on the show, but it's like, if we recorded you secretly, it would probably be the same kind of a thing, right? Just,
absolutely.
What, as far as that metal show, who were some of your favorite guests on that show? Maybe that you haven't had on the new show that maybe you'd like to talk to again?
Yngwie Malmsteen. He was on, he played guitar. He came in with a little amp and played and jammed, which is great. That was early on. That was like the first season or something like that. So yeah, he was my favorite. And, no, we'll eventually get everybody back on. We only do one show a week. So, and these guys got to be promoting something. If they're not, Yngwie just announced a tour with, he's doing with Glenn Hughes.
Right.
So we'll probably have Yngwie on. But if they're not promoting anything. They're like, I got nothing to really say. So, we have to find the right time for those guys when they got announce a tour, they got an album. Like Dawkins got a new album coming out, I see.
Right.
So we'll probably have Don on probably in the next few weeks.
Awesome. Yeah, that should be a good show. Yeah. So what are some I don't know, maybe some embarrassing moments that you might have on either show that kind of happened and you were like, I don't know if we're gonna make it, you know?
There's nothing. I mean, nothing really. I mean, no, there's
Nothing really
nothing.
happened?
No, I mean nothing.
Nothing major that kind of happened that you
No.
know, or no kind of, was there anything that happened that kind of, I don't know, didn't go as planned, or you had to change things up or anything like that? Nothing
No,
like
because
that?
when you're doing TV stuff, everything's pretty much set. You rehearse before the show. You
Yeah.
go to rehearsals, work everything out, and then it's pretty much scripted except for the questions that we have asked the band members and stuff, but everything else is pretty much scripted. So
Right.
we just rehearse before. So no, nothing really.
Or do you I guess you don't really have a chance to rehearse on the that rocks. I mean, y'all just kind of go with that, or how does that work? How do you
Yeah,
prepare
we're just in a box like this, like we're
Yeah.
talking. So I mean, we
Sure.
didn't prepare for this either.
You're right. That's true.
Yeah, we just
That's true.
just wing it. No, I like stuff that it's not completely polished.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
you
and
can
that's
tell. it is,
yeah, I like that. I think people like that too. It's not like even that metal show wasn't completely polished. It looked like shit, and stuff, and the camera angles weren't great and stuff, and even the art thing. It's like whatever. I think that's the beauty of it. It's like
Sure.
when people listen to podcasts, they're not perfect.
Sure.
It's
I
just
know
a conversation. So, people like listening in.
it's a lot of fun. Yeah. And it's kind of relaxing. It's like, that's always kind of, to do interviews, it's always like you want to act like you're having coffee at a restaurant or something, not like so personal and so strict. It's got to be this way. Like, yeah, I agree with you
Yeah.
on that. Now, when you were growing up, I know you're a big rock fan. Who are some of your favorite bands, and what albums really kind of got you going?
Black
back in those-
Sabbath,
Okay.
AC/DC, Ted Nugent, Judas Priest. Those are my top four.
Awesome.
Any of Sabbath stuff with Ozzy, Double Live Gonzo, Ted Nugent, Unleash in the East, Priest, British Steel.
Right.
Anything with Bond with AC/DC too.
So you like Bond over Brian Johnson?
Yeah, I mean, the music, the songs are better. It's nothing against Brian, but
Yeah.
they were peaking at that time. That it was always the band's first like 6 or 7 albums are always better than the last 6 or 7. That happens with every band.
Sure. And there's always different controversies in bands, and I know you guys talk about it a lot. I mean, like, what's your take, say, on I know you had Sammy Hagar on the show a few weeks ago, and what do you think about the whole Van Halen not doing the Van Halen reunion type thing? I mean, is that
No,
something
I mean,
you
it's like not every band does that. Dave Grohl did it for Taylor Hawkins, but that doesn't mean every band has to do it.
Yeah.
They lose a member. I mean, they were pretty much going to be retired anyway, Van Halen, most likely. But I mean, they're in their mid 60s, so no one's expecting. Every band doesn't have to sit. They lose a big member, has to. Okay, now we got to do a tribute concert.
That's true. It just seems to be, that's the thing. I guess that's the way people get to hold on to their youth, I guess, somehow through bands. They can say, if they keep going, maybe I'll keep going or something. I don't know. That's the way it seems like to me. I don't know. You feel like you could last forever if your favorite bands keep going, maybe, or something, right?
Maybe, yeah. I mean, look, Van Halen never worked that much to begin with. They didn't. The first years with Roth and then a few with Sammy Hagar, but they would you wouldn't hear from them for like 6 or 7 years, and then it would pop up.
Do you think somebody like David Lee Roth, I mean, I think he had his peak a long time ago. Do you think somebody like that needs to kind of stop, or do you think that's okay what he's doing?
He's pretty much stopped. He hasn't done any shows in 2 years.
Yeah.
He said he was retiring anyway. Yeah, he hasn't done any shows, so he has stopped. He knows when to stop. No, but if you saw those last 2 tours with Van Halen, if you saw him, maybe later on in the tour, his voice wasn't as as good, but early on the tour, he sounded amazing. I saw the
Yeah.
shows like 3 or 4 times.
Right. If you still got it, you might as well keep going. But I know there's a lot of guys out there that try and they probably need to just call it quits, but I don't know. I guess there's a desire that they feel like it's what they've been doing for so long, I guess.
Yeah, they want to do it. They enjoy, getting up in front of a live audience and stuff. But no, I mean, Dave hasn't done a show in 2 years, so he's not like he's out there and his voice is terrible or anything like that.
Yeah, that makes I understand. Now you're talking about AC/DC. Now, who are your favorite guitarists that you really appreciate?
Randy Rhoads, Eddie, Steve Vai. Who else? Nuno Betancourt from Extreme is amazing.
Oh yeah, that new album, Extreme. It kind of takes you back. There aren't too many bands today that have that same kind of sound from back in the day that's still playing these solos.
Yeah,
and still going strong. So I really appreciate those guys, man. That's good stuff. So how does your music vary? Your taste in music, I know, varies between like you and Eddie and Don. So where do yours end and theirs kind of take off? How close are you in their taste of music?
I don't know. Eddie likes more the 80s stuff. I like more the harder stuff. Don likes even harder stuff. Don's into some death metal. I like, like Slipknot, bands like that. That's about as far as I'll go as far as heavy. I like a lot of classic rock too, like old Bob Seger, Stones,
Sure.
That kind of stuff too. Some Tom Petty. And I like a lot of Southern rock too.
Oh yeah. Awesome. Yeah, I do too. Which I don't really say, I'm not going to listen to this or that. I'll give it a chance. But yeah, I'm kind of like a classic rock kind of a guy. But I'll give it all a chance. But I haven't really ventured out to that death metal. It's kind of like too extreme. Which I interview a lot of people, and I wouldn't say no. I'm not going to listen to this. I don't appreciate that because it's still art. It's still like they're giving out their talents and their heart in this music. But it's like, will I listen to that? Can you sit there and listen to certain songs? No, I don't know. But yeah. So who do you think is now? There's a lot of bands out there, and I know you appreciate a lot of them. But what in your opinion is the most overrated band? Would you say?
Overrated. I don't know. Trying to think. Springsteen.
Okay, there you go. I wouldn't want to put you on the spot.
No, I'm just trying to think. I'm trying to go through that, but that Springsteen's definitely overrated.
Yeah, I get that. I totally get that because, I don't know. I think he's got some decent songs, and things like that. But yeah, the way people treat him, it does seem like he's the king or something. But it's all right. But you wouldn't turn down, tickets to a concert or something, right? If somebody gave you.
No, I would. I wouldn't go.
You wouldn't go?
No, if I don't like him, why would I go?
You don't like
Not just because I got free tickets. I'm like, no, I'm still not going. It's not going to change my mind.
That's true.
Plus, he plays like 3.5 hours. I don't want to sit through that shit. I mean, if someone gave me, Beyonce tickets, I wouldn't go.
Yeah,
if they gave me Taylor Swift tickets, I wouldn't go. I wouldn't go see any of that shit.
But you'd sell them and make a good profit, wouldn't you?
I don't even want to be associated with tickets with those.
What's the fascination with her? I mean, she was with Taylor Swift. She was in country, and she was good back in the day. But then she became this pop sensation, and everybody just loves everything about her. And I'm like, I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't know. I've only heard 2 of her songs ever, so I don't even know what she does. Like that shit's so far off my radar. I see her out there. I see her online and shit stuff, but I don't know any of her music, so I don't even know. So I don't even know. But look, I guess her tour just made $1 billion. It's the biggest tour ever.
Wow. I mean, I guess she must be doing something right, in
Yeah, I mean,
30.
I'm sure she probably is talented. I don't know if she actually sings her songs or it's lip synced, and stuff like that. I don't know, but good for her. It's just not that shit's not on my radar. I'm a grown man. I'm not gonna like fucking Taylor Swift.
That would be messed up when it's sitting
Yeah.
around. Speaking of which, though, what do you think about these background tracks and these people not singing, and some of these are big time bands that are using tracks? What do you think about all that stuff?
I don't care. It doesn't bother me.
Doesn't bother you?
No, if I go to the show, I go to the show. I'm not, if I like the
Yeah.
band, whatever. I mean, you get a few beers in you, I really don't give a shit when I'm watching a band.
Right.
If they got enhance it a little bit, it doesn't really bother me.
Yeah. Just so I guess beforehand, it's not a big deal. You're just coming to see a show. It's not like
I don't even know. Like, I'm not technical like that. Like, I don't really, I mean, sometimes I guess you could tell, but I don't really know the nuances of all that stuff and the sound.
Yeah.
And is this like, I'm not one of those geeks. So I don't really know. I just have a few beers in me and it sounds good to me.
Hey, man, easy to please, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now you're talking about AC/DC. So that's one of your top bands. Are you Iron Maiden fan? Do you like Iron Maiden?
Maiden's in probably the top 10.
Oh yeah, that's another one. A lot of those bands though, are still around, and that's something to think about. Some of these bands have been around for 50 years. I mean, it's amazing that they're still doing, like Mick Jagger. Even, you ever think about Mick Jagger and go, this guy is 80 something.
Yeah.
And
he just turned 80. Yeah.
80.
I saw him 2 years ago at the Rose Bowl in front of 80,000 people. I've seen him like 3 times the last 5 years. Best frontman of all time, no question.
It's crazy to think in a world without him. I mean, he's been doing it for so long, but that energy that he's got, man, you gotta give the guy credit.
Yeah.
And maybe that probably motivates a lot of people that are probably in their maybe 70s and go, I got to keep going, because if Mick Jagger can do this, I can still do that.
Yeah.
So what is the best concert you ever went to that you just went and you said, man, I'm loving this, and you just couldn't get enough? What was the best one?
I don't know, man. I saw AC/DC on the Rock or Bus tour at the MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. I took my son to it. He knew like the whole set list, pretty much, the AC/DC songs. He was like 7 at the time. So it was cool because when I was younger, my older brothers took me to see AC/DC. So it was a great moment, and the show was amazing, of course. So I think that would probably be the best. But then I've seen some, Van Halen back in the day with the original lineup with David Lee Roth. So, those shows were amazing.
Right.
So I've been to so many good shows, luckily. Saw Ozzy, Blizzard of Oz with Randy Rhoads 5 times.
Wow.
With Def Leppard opening on the High and Dry tour, and that was on Blizzard of Oz tour. So,
wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. I wish I could have been there. What kind of shows do you have in mind going to that you'd like to see coming up?
I just saw Ted Nugent last week. He was phenomenal. 75 years old. The energy he has, doesn't miss a beat, sounds amazing. The band's unbelievable.
Why do you think people give Ted such a hard time in the media?
Probably because of his politics, because he doesn't say what the media wants him to say. And I don't care about that.
It's stupid when somebody plays that good, man, and they focus on some negative.
Yeah, it's like, so what if it's political, whatever his belief? So I don't care what they are. It doesn't matter to me. Ted's a hunter. I don't even own a gun, and I wouldn't shoot an animal. I'm not going to hold that against him. I love his music. I don't care. That's just his thing. That's not mine. But I mean, look at it. He's not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which he should be. He's never even been nominated because of his politics. So, yeah, if you talk that way, you're gonna the media is just gonna trash you, which is unfortunate. I don't the guys that talk the other way, I don't care either. It doesn't bother me. I just go to see the concert.
Sure. And it is funny how they pit people up against each other, but like you said, the majority of the ones that they really love or lean in, a certain way,
Yeah, but meanwhile, Ted's every show sold out. He's friggin' playing an hour and a half, and he's amazing. So he doesn't even care. He's like, I got my own fan base. Who cares what those other people think?
Well, I know that he he had announced retiring, and and things like that. I know he was on your show, and then he said he's going to do some more shows, maybe like locally or maybe a few here and there. It made me feel better because I thought, man, that wouldn't be cool if he stopped all of a sudden.
Yeah.
So he's still going to be doing and recording probably albums and stuff.
Right. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I mean, wow. Yeah, that guy's crazy, but yeah, one of my favorites of all time. I just love that guy. And did you meet his wife, Shemaine? She's a nice lady.
Yeah, I met her before. Yeah.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I know now you're a stand-up comedian, and you've had a bunch of shows, you've had albums, you've done all kinds of stuff. Now, how did you start doing comedy? What got into you so you said I could do this?
I don't know. I just went up. I liked stand-up, as a kid. So I always said, one day I want to be a comic. And I just went up to an open mic and just said, this is what I'm going to do. And just kept doing it. There was no set thing, but I just knew that, that's what I wanted to do.
Right. And how much of your life, like your real life, do you put into your work that you do, like the jokes and the things?
100%, all of it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's where you come up with material,
Right.
by living life, experience things, and and trying to find an angle to make it funny.
Right. And there's a lot of it, I'm sure, every day.
Yeah.
It's always something. Now, whenever you're doing, I don't know, a comedy gig. Now I know it's different if you're a musician, you're on the stage, you're performing, you get this rush. Is that the same way for a comedian? You kind of get a rush?
Definitely.
And how long does it take you to kind of come back down to reality after you do a show? Because sometimes you get all hyped up and you're like,
yeah, I mean, sometimes you get a little, but no, you definitely get the rush to feed off the audience. If the audience is laughing, it gives you an adrenaline rush.
Sure.
And it's not too much time. You've been doing it for a long time. In the beginning, you're all excited when you do really well. And it's tough to go to sleep. But after you've been doing it a while, it's like, when 10 minutes after the show, you're fine.
Right. Or do you get hecklers and things like that at these shows that you do?
Sometimes you do.
And how do you do?
People, I don't know. I just figure it out. They're usually drunk. So you just make fun of them, that, you just tell them, like, you realize nobody else in this room is yelling out except for you.
Right.
This is not normal. You're a grown man.
Right.
When you go to the movies, you yell at the screen if you don't like a scene, so
yeah,
probably does. Yeah.
Probably does. Probably. Yeah. Don't go in that room. Yeah. So, what is your pet peeve in life? What really gets under your skin that bothers you? Like,
There's a lot.
What's the biggest one you would say? I don't know, just off the top of your head.
A lot of social media with the stupid posts. People posting pictures of their food like anyone gives a shit. Like, I care what you ate, or I care what restaurant you're at. Like, what do you want me to do to you? Took a picture of your steak. What would you like me to do? I know you have to eat. You have to eat 3 times a day. I get it.
Right. They're wanting attention so bad. I think
or someone makes a meal at home and they have to post it because they want everyone to say it looks amazing. Save me a piece. That's awesome. Now I'm hungry. They want those responses. Like, you just cooked a meal. Okay, that's what you just followed directions. That's all you did.
Congratulations.
So you're good at following directions. Congratulations. And you put it all together. You're wonderful.
I love it. That's what I love about you. Just your personality, though, is just, you got that voice, like you just don't care. And it's sarcasm. I see the sarcasm all over your face.
Yeah. That's just because it's just nonsense.
But there's always a guy in a group that's like you, that's got that sarcasm, and everybody loves that, what you bring,
right.
to a crowd. I mean, do people find that about you? Like, if you're going somewhere, do they go, here we go, Jim's gonna be?
It depends. Like, I'm quiet. I don't need to shine in every moment, and I got to be the funny one. I'm not like that at all. But when I need to,
right,
I'll contribute. But no, the guys that are like that always have to constantly be on and be funny, they're not good comedians.
Yeah,
yeah, because they just looking for attention. Please look at me, look at me, look at me. I'm not one of them.
Sure. Yeah, I understand that. Now, I know that I know you did crank yankers and that whole thing like that. And how did you get into that? Because that's hilarious, man. How'd you get into pulling these
Just
crank?
like, as a kid making prank calls, everybody did them. So
Right,
you just busting balls over the phone and messing with people.
right.
So
Um,
I just started that when I was a kid. We just play around on the phone, me and my friends.
I remember doing that. It was back before caller ID and all this stuff, and you could call and people could. Yeah, I used to call the teachers at school and say stuff, but um, so doing that kind of got you doing other stuff. I mean, did that come from that terrorizing telemarketers? Was that what started all that? Because I was listening to some of that. Now, see, to me now, that's hilarious. I mean, who likes telemarketers, right? And so annoying.
Right.
So I was listening to some of your stuff. I hadn't really heard a lot. I mean, I was going there listening, man, and I was just about crying because it was hilarious, man. Uh, I think you were calling a guy pumpkin lips or something, or
Yeah, yeah,
getting
yeah.
mad. I mean, but see, that's funny because they call you. I know they're trying to make money. They're doing their job. It's so annoying, but it's so cool to give it back to them. And how did you come up with some of this stuff? I mean,
Well, yeah, because they don't think you're messing with them, because they're like, why is this guy wasting his time on the phone if he's not going to bother buy anything? Most people just hang up on them.
right,
Tell them, hey, don't ever call here again. I'm on the do not call list. Don't ever call. And then they get me on the phone like, oh man, wow, this guy's staying on. I might have a sale here, even though he's being weird.
right,
So they stay on, which is great. But they have no idea that I'm messing with them. So I always just play like stupid. Like, I'm just trying to get the information. I don't know what's wrong.
right. You, there was some guy you were saying like, what, huh, or something, and he thought you didn't know English or something, and
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I always figure out something to do when they call.
there's a guy. You ever heard it? Was it Roy D. Mercer? I mean,
Yeah.
I was just saying that's what it reminded me of, and to me that's the funniest thing ever, and doing stuff like that though because it's two things. It's hilarious. It's showing your comedic skills, and you coming up with stuff is hilarious. But then their reaction is just, I don't know, man. I love that stuff, man. But I guess comedy is such a good thing, and we need it these days, and I guess you're doing your part by making people laugh and stuff like that. I guess because sometimes people take life too seriously, or they get bent out of shape out of some things. Is that what you think about making people laugh? Doesn't that mean a lot to you?
I mean, yeah, it helps if people, come in the right frame of mind in the comedy club and want to laugh and not get offended. Yeah, it is, it's a form of live entertainment that people still enjoy, going to concerts, going to comedy clubs, because you never know what's going to happen. It's live, so comedy is big, it's bigger than it's ever been. People just love going to live shows.
Um, so what during the pandemic, how did you survive during that? I know there's a lot of shutdowns and things like that
I just waited it out,
yeah,
within like 6 months, a lot of it was open, back open. So it's just like a 6 month thing. You just had to lay low. That affected everybody. So
yeah, no, it totally did. What about these days people get offended at every little thing. I'm sure you just keep going without stopping, right? Because I think a lot of people, when they see people get offended, it just makes them want to say more stuff in the other direction. Is that right?
yeah. Yeah. I mean, they don't come to the comedy clubs, those people. So
Yeah,
they stay home. They kind of research the comic and know. So you don't really get that at comedy club. More people want to come out and hear you say outrageous stuff now.
right.
Because they're so, because everybody's so like, the media just portrays everybody like offended by everything. And really maybe 10% is, and they spin it like there's 100% that is. Somebody says something, like 2 comments underneath, they pull from like their Twitter.
True.
Oh, that was inappropriate. How could you say that? And they make a whole story about that. Meanwhile, 80 people loved it, but they make a story out of that, just pulling those 2 people that didn't like it. So that doesn't even bother me. I just ignore that shit. I just do my own thing.
That's good. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the way it should
You're not going
be.
to please everybody. Same with a band. When you write a song, there's, you focus on the people that like you. That's all you could do. You can't try to please everybody with comedy or music.
Right. That's true.
Yeah.
In social media, I think people thrive on that. When you're sitting behind a keyboard, or like maybe on Twitter or something, you get to say whatever you want to say and kind of stir up some things, But I know that freedom of speech, is a good thing, but sometimes they try to stop it, and that's why they get people, upset. They're trying to take everything away. So everybody's offended. You can't say what you want to say because they'll flag you on something. I surely hope that's not the direction we go to, because on Facebook a lot of times you get booted. I got booted off a few years ago, lost my whole account because of something that somebody else said. So it's like you got to watch what you say, and it's just a sad world if we're coming to that.
No, I know, especially with YouTube too. YouTube's really,
Yeah,
it's almost like these social media outlets are almost like broadcast TV, like regular TV. Remember, cable TV, you could kind of curse maybe,
right,
or be a little more edgy. But regular
right.
TV, you had these unbelievable standards where you had to be clean. That's what almost like YouTube now is, and Facebook. Not so much Twitter, since Elon took it over. You got a lot more freedom on there, which is good. But no, that's what it seems like. We're back to it's on NBC at 8:00 on a Tuesday. You can't say that.
Right. I guess it's all about control, right? It's all about control. What do you think about AI? Do you think that's going to take over the world and it's going to mess us up?
I don't know, man. I haven't looked into
really.
it. I hear it. People always complaining about it, but that's not really on my radar. I'm not a big tech guy and learn about AI. If it comes, it comes, and we'll see what, I don't really even know. I haven't even looked into it. I haven't researched. I know people are afraid that everything's going to get taken over and all that shit, but they can't have a comedian doing jokes. I know they said they want to write scripts, like AI can write a script about a horror movie, but it's going to be just basic.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be anything interesting and really edgy. It's just going to be okay, the basic. It's almost like taking a basic pop song and just kind of doing a watered down version of it.
Right.
So people are going to seek out the real thing.
And they're doing that now with music. I mean, they got so-and-so I don't know. I think they did a Nirvana song, and it's cool, but it's not. You're taking away that human element of the creativity of that person. It's a human that did that. Sure, it might sound cool, but it's not really. I wouldn't want to listen to something. You're talking like Randy Rhoads, or somebody had a guitar that could play just like him. It sounded great, but it's not him, and it's not. So it's kind of dark if you think about it. You're trying to replace somebody that can't even speak for themselves anymore. And I guess that's what's going on with the actors. Aren't they trying to do that over there with the strike? Hollywood's trying to say that they're going to use their image in a film in the future or something like that.
The background actors, the people in the background, like the extras, that's what they want to do, which isn't fair to the actors, to do that and then use it, and they can use it whenever they want forever, their image. So I understand they're fighting over that. That's going to be a lot of people are going to lose their jobs, and even those background actors, it's it's a gig for them.
Right. It's not really fair. I guess that's their whole goal, is to get rid of humans and have everything taken over, which makes no sense to me. But I'm kind of like you, though. I'm just going to sit back and, what can you do? I guess we could speak our mind.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. But I was thinking about there was a show you did though about, I don't know, what was it called? Meet the Creeps, and you were at a restaurant or something, and you were telling a guy to keep giving you pepper or something for 20 minutes or something like that. But no, it just popped in my mind though. But I mean, I don't know. Comedy though, man, I know it helps people out. Do you find it helps you in your life? If you're going through some different things, is that your escape?
No, I mean, it's just being creative. It's almost like a guy in a band, writing a song, a musician. So you're trying to create some comedy and putting it out there, and hopefully it sticks. So I love the creative part of just coming up with the ideas, figuring it out, seeing how it's going to work, executing it, all that stuff. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. It's like all those bits are almost like a song that the band's write.
Right. How long does it take you to come up with some kind of
I don't
segment?
know. I don't know. Just whenever. It's just like a band. Some they can write a song in 2 minutes, or it could take a month, or they can't come up with anything. It all depends.
Right. Well, have you ever thought about writing songs or anything like that?
No, I don't have any talent to do that shit. Yeah.
Oh, you don't.
Yeah, I don't have an ear for music or any of that. And I like being a comic because I only have to worry about myself. I don't have to worry about 4 of the band members with ex-wives or girlfriends, and just getting along with everybody and just making sure everyone gets along and all that stuff. It's too much.
Yeah,
it's easy to work by yourself.
That's true, man.
Yeah,
that's really true. I mean, it's sad. I mean, you would hope that you could get along, but there's so much drama. There's so much different ideas and people going this way.
Yeah.
When there's a lot of money involved, I understand that. There's a lot to it. Yeah, you're right. Sometimes you just want to be over here. Just leave me alone. I'll do my own thing. That makes a whole lot of sense. Well, you wrote a book, right? A while back. Was that something that you'd wanted to do for a while?
Well, it's based off my podcast, Everybody Is Awful. It's based on like people on social media, just, with their dumb stuff that they post and all that stuff. So that's basically my podcast. So I just put it in a book form.
Right.
Called Everybody Is Awful.
And people relate to that very well, I guess. But if people are relating to it, there's got to be somebody that you're talking about. Everybody talks about that guy over there, but it's probably them.
Yeah, well, the people that understand, like don't want to see people's vacation pictures, they're going to the Bahamas and someone's got to do, 9-picture photo shoot. Like, I care. Oh, we're at the airport now. Yeah. So what do you want me to do? Oh, we're on the plane. They take a picture on the plane, outside the window, the clouds. Mm-hmm. And then when they get to the resort, and then they'd have to take a picture of the sunset and the sunrise. It's like, who gives a shit? Yeah, I don't care that you're on vacation. Why do you have to document it? Is anyone like refreshing their page? Like, did the plane land yet?
I've got to post it.
Yeah, I know. What does a resort look like? I know what a resorts look like. You got a pool and you got a tiki bar and then you got a beach behind the pool. I get it. I've been there before. I know what a sunrise looks like. I know what a sunset looks like. I know what a drink looks like. To take a picture of your mimosa. I know what it looks like.
Oh boy. There was something a few years ago I saw on social media. It was like somebody they took a picture of fireworks or something. It was like, here's a picture. Here was a picture from 7 years ago. You know how the Facebook is
the memories.
Like, I really needed to see, and the people that you shared it with really wanted to see this forgotten firework from
Meanwhile, it's the same fireworks every year. They never updated them. Why is everybody going every year? Nobody looks up, goes, well, that's different. I never saw that firework before.
Yeah, what is that?
It's the same thing. So, and then people taking pictures and filming it. Like, what are you going to do with that footage? If you filmed it, you're going to go into work the next day and go, hey, I shot some fireworks on my phone. You want to see them? Like, why?
Everybody's rushing over to the phone going, let's check that
unless
out.
Somebody blew their thumb off. Yeah, if you got that, I'll see that.
That would be interesting. I don't know. And sometimes I try to psychoanalyze all that. Why are they doing this? But I think we talked about it earlier.
They need attention. Everybody wants attention. They're acting like they're in high school. When you're in high school, you want attention. When you're in grade school, I get it. You're trying to fit in. And then they see everybody else posting their food pictures or their vacation pictures. Oh, I got to do it because that's what they're just sheep. They're just following everybody else. You don't have to.
Right.
You really don't, and then if they don't get enough likes, it's like high school. The last thing I did got like 50 likes. This one only got 3, then you get mad at people because they didn't like it. It's crazy. You're just completely ruining your day. None of it means anything. It really doesn't.
Do you think that's on purpose as far as the social media platforms that they want you to be kind of like that?
Of course. Yeah.
Nuts. So you'll be
just engaged just to get on it and do that. But everybody just does the same thing. Like somebody does something. Okay, I guess I have to do it because everybody else is. I've never been a follower. And if you like heavy metal, you've never been a follower either. Yeah. We were already the outcasts. We just didn't like whatever pop music was was good at the time. And that's most of these people that are on social media, you know, they got to post their inspirational quotes like, yeah, thanks, you know, follow your dreams. Yeah. I'm not listening to you, dude. Okay. You're 40. You still live at home with your parents. You deliver DoorDash. Is that your dream? You know what I mean? Like that shit, like you're going to change somebody's life because you put follow your dreams or live in the moment.
Right.
You know?
Right. Well, I mean, but like you said, though, I just think that people, they're just looking for somebody to, and it's sad though, that, you know, you're going from a little kid to you're an adult and you don't really grow up from that. But like, and it's hard to grow up from, and it's addictive. I mean, a phone, you have a phone in your hand all the time. Everywhere you see somebody doing like that, and it becomes an addiction. So then there's no freedom of thinking on your own. Like you said, you can't just go, I think I will go to town and buy something and not tell anybody. That's the freedom. Hey, freedom is also you not telling anybody anything about what you're doing and being quiet about it, you know, and just saying, I'm going to enjoy this moment, you know?
Yeah. Cause you know, nobody, like, you know, 5 minutes later, nobody cares what you just posted because everything's moving so quick. So it really doesn't matter.
Right.
You know, Facebook was originally for like pictures when your grandparents lived in Seattle and you were in Ohio and you wanted to put some pictures up, you know, or some close friends. Here's my kids. Here's what that's what it originally was for. And then it just turned into something else. And, you know, all of them, Instagram, TikTok, all of that shit. Yeah. It's the same thing. It's just people that still need attention. They're not getting enough at home, you know, whether from their husband or their wife or whatever. And they still like to act like they're in high school. Like, look at me, look at me, look at me.
Maybe they just need to go and say, look, here's the real deal. This is what's going on. I need attention. This is happening. Maybe it just needs to be like a confessional where everybody just kind of tells their problems and says, hey.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, at some point you should get over that and just, you know, you got 2 kids in front of you you're raising. Just live your life. Stop taking pictures of your food. Stop documenting everything, you know, that you do in your life. Nobody cares. Like, think about it. If people got these pictures developed, I know most people don't. They keep them on their computer now. Right. Imagine if you like do old school. Once in a while, I'll get pictures developed. I put them in a scrapbook. But you think that they're getting that picture, that chicken parm that they went to that Italian restaurant? You think they're going to get that one, or they're going to skip that? Like, do you think they'll get? Oh, you know, I want a copy of that. They're not. Right. So why did you post that then? It's not obviously not that important.
It's not. But like you said, it's them wanting somebody to go, hey, they had this. Like, even that doesn't matter. You know, so what? You know, yeah, that's true.
They really think that just because a few people like follow it, and meanwhile they're just doing that. They see their friends' Facebook. Oh, okay. Oh, they post something. I'll like it. They don't really give a shit. They're onto something 2 seconds later. But these people are tricked. Like, oh my God, I got 17 likes on that within like 4 minutes. I got to post more stuff.
What people don't understand is the logarithm of the whole Facebook. They only show you so much. That's why you have to pay. You have to pay money to get noticed on Facebook. People don't realize that. So when nobody's liking your post, that's because they don't ever see it. It's not because they don't care about you.
Yeah.
And it's like a mental thing. So, what do you think about though? Like at a concert, you got somebody filming on their phone instead of appreciating the concert. What do you think about stuff like that?
If you do it for like a minute, that's fine. You want to cut some footage, show some footage and send it to a friend. But anything when you're recording the whole song, that's just stupid. All right. You don't have to record Welcome to the Jungle. There's 75 million other better versions than your shitty iPhone that's on YouTube with the sound coming out of your stupid iPhone when you're way in the back on the lawn. So I don't like it because especially when you're behind somebody and you got to look through their phone because they got the phone in the air.
Right.
You know, so that just annoys. I'm like, just put it down. You want to take a quick picture, take a quick picture. Do a minute of the song, send it to your friend. That's it. Just fucking put your phone down and just enjoy the moment.
Sure. It kind of makes you want to go back to simpler times like maybe the 80s or something when you didn't have all this technology and Facebook and phones.
Yeah.
People just lived their life and we survived. You know, it seemed like we were happier Don't you think that causes a lot of depression in people?
Oh, without a doubt. Absolutely. Because it's all about competing and it's all about, I'm not getting liked and no one, this person has way more friends than me. How come they have 370 on Facebook and I only have 200? Yeah. Hey, I send you a friend request. I didn't hear back. Who cares? What does that? It doesn't mean anything. I try to teach my kid that. He's 12. I go, none of that shit means anything. Don't even look at how many followers they have compared to you. None of it doesn't mean shit.
And at least he's got somebody like you tell him that, because this newer generation coming up, they haven't experienced all this stuff. They don't know better.
Yeah,
they think this
they
is
don't.
it.
This is
So,
it. Yeah.
So you may be like the spokesperson for people to just get over all this stuff. They
No,
might
I
go,
tell them, it's like buying all like new expensive thing, whatever it is. I go, I can have 3 cars in my driveway instead of 1.
Right.
I go, is anyone going to like me anymore? Am I going to get more friends if people know that I have 3 cars instead of 1?
Right.
He's like, no. I go, then just think like that. Because
That's right.
nobody's going to care if you got the brand new Kyrie Irving fucking sneakers. Like nobody gives a shit. Don't wear something that's completely out of style where people are going to make fun of you, but that doesn't mean anything. People aren't going to like you more because you got the brand new sneakers that cost $250.
Right.
Don't think that way. You're going to be broke just trying to impress people that don't even know you.
It's sad how that happens, but I think, everybody's been there, but the key is to kind of go on the outside, look in and go, that's stupid, man. And then, like you said, or buying something new. You buy a brand new car, it depreciates. If you would have got a used car like 3 or 4 years later, you just spent a lot of money because you wanted I wanted a new, but and then that goes for anything. I wanted a brand new yada yada. If you would have waited a little bit, you could have got it for half price. It ain't always about new and best.
Yeah.
But that, I don't know. That's just one of those things. I think though, but I think the more people that talk about stuff, because you're not gonna. Sometimes nothing clicks until somebody from the outside goes, that's kind of dumb. I've been guilty.
Yeah. I mean,
I've been
it's the
guilty.
it's the adrenaline rush of getting something new, but then it's over. How long is the rush for?
Right.
People come over, they see a brand new car. Wow, that's really nice. Wow, man, that's look at the inside. That's really cool. And then it's over. So everyone that your friends that you saw, you get that rush from the 9 people that you wanted to show that car to, and now you're stuck with 7 years of car payments.
Oh, exactly.
So was it worth it for that people that go, this is really nice?
Right. It's not at all. Wow. But yeah, I don't know, man. That's just something to think about. That's one of those little things that everybody needs to kind of sit back and think about. Well, I appreciate you talking to me. I won't keep you or anything. But know this: anytime you go on the show, I'm there somewhere in those crew of people chatting online, and
I
I enjoy
appreciate that. Thank you.
No, and the truth is, man, with you and the guys, I mean, y'all are the reason why I do podcasts. Like I talk to some of the guys that y'all talk to, because it's such like a dream. Isn't that like a dream of yours? You're a little kid. Do you ever think you're going to be talking to these guys one day on this thing called the internet on a phone?
No, it's great. I mean, it really helped, with the lockdown, with everyone on Zoom, that became acceptable. Usually you had to be in a studio somewhere, but then when everyone's life was on Zoom, everyone's like, all right, yeah, I don't have to leave my place and I could Zoom. Yeah, I'll do this. So it's helping a lot.
Sure.
Podcasters and everything else, and also band members where I don't have to fly to New York. I could just do it to Zoom. No problem. I'll be at my house. So it makes it easier for all of us.
Sure. And it's like you said, it's easy to do, and I didn't get a degree in podcasting or anything, but I've started and I think I'd do a decent job, but I think but any other way, I would have had to go through this long series and process to try to be on if it was on a TV show.
Yeah.
But stuff like this, man, but I do appreciate talking to you. And I'm a big fan, and keep up the good work and everything. And I hope all the best for you, and keep those jokes
appreciate that, man.
flying.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I appreciate that, man. And thanks for watching our show. That rocks every Wednesday, 7 p.m. So yeah,
Awesome.
Thank you.
Yes, sir, man. Thanks so much for talking to me today. maybe I'll talk to you again. But maybe see you out there somewhere, one of these concerts or something. But that Ted Nugent, I want to see him before he hangs it up too.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, you should.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Well, thanks, man. You have a good day, and I'll see you on that rocks. I'll be there.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
All right, man.
Thanks.
If you want to find out more about Jim Florentine, head on over to his website, jimflorentine.com, and see where he's appearing or what shows he's got lined up. And until next time, everybody, this is Gary Stuckey saying, whatever you do, keep the music real.